Okay, so hi guys. Alexa, quiet please. Alexa, quiet please. So welcome to this webinar. Obviously that was the Alexa music playing. And like it says here, okay.
Just so you know, I can help if you ever misplace your phone. Try asking me to call your phone.
Okay, she wants to join, I guess. Okay, one day left to take the badges and access all tasks. So what started a few 6 months ago is now almost live. And we have, in Swedish, Finnish, and English, 55 people has passed badge 1, 39 people badge 2, 21 people badge 3, and so far 15 people badge 4. And this badge 4 people, as you know, they will have a guarantee of 150 euro a month in stuff. So it's pretty exciting. I actually think that it looks like we will have close to 100 people passing badge 3 at the end of September. So that's a pretty exciting goal, actually. So in this webinar, which I run each week on Thursdays at 5:30 Central European Time, today I will cover, one very common question is like, how much work is there? Then the badges, when we launch them tomorrow, or maybe it will be Saturday, let's see, it will change how the task feed works a bit. And also the notion about quality. It is not going to work the same way, and I will get back to that. Then I want to cover a bit of fast track versus normal track. So right now we are pushing people, or we're not pushing, but we want this 100 people to pass the badges. That doesn't necessarily mean that you should take the badge 3, for example, right away. You might need some more experience. You might need some time to listen into our webinars, which is the next point. You should definitely join the regular webinars before you try to take the badges. You will learn a lot there. And as you know by now, it's getting harder and harder. It requires more and more reward points to get to take the badges, and you only get the first try for free, or you only get enough reward points for that. And finally, there will be a Q&A. And I kind of enjoy, as you also see, this time around, I'm not going to cover the EWA sites, and the reason is that we will move the EWA meeting to a kind of a country manager meeting, more invitation-only kind of meeting. Each Tuesday. We will have the first one tomorrow, and if you have an invitation, you know what it is, and it's more a conversational meeting, kind of Zoom meeting that we will record, but we might not post it online. So I would like to show one site here, and this is Minna's site. She has just passed badge 4, and first of all, we go to website manager, and I want to see how it's doing, and 4 out of 4 keywords is ranking. Okay, so it's ranking. Let's check. That's kind of weird. I don't think, it might be that you have not redirected the www here. It might be an issue there in the registrar. You should check that out. Maybe Sanna or Jorn, if you're listening in. So
it's probably an old one ranking still.
Oh, okay, could be. So yeah, okay. So it's a old, it's a very old indexed meta here. This is definitely not the new one. Let's check the site. The site looks good. The metas. I guess we want to rank for Justula here. No. This meta, I mean, I don't know Finnish, but maybe the combination is like that in Russian. I don't know. In Finnish, looks a bit weird because if you, as you know, you should always start with the focus keyword. Sanna, are you listening in here? Then you might like want to check that out. Then, I mean, except that, let's see. I think one issue I see right away that I don't like is that there's way too much space here. I mean, this is not a good use of space. I think a better site is, I think this is Helene who has made this one. I mean, this one you see right away, it looks much, much better and it's very easy. It's just a bit of text on the image and then recipes, health and sustainability. And I mean, the layout of this site is much more pleasant for the eyes. There's some questions here. I mean, some cool stuff happening. It's the first batch, so I mean, it's okay. I mean, it's definitely a pass, but it requires more work. So, I mean, now you should take that one around and maybe use this as an example site. I think they more or less are somehow associated with food, so you might get inspired from this one. And here you see that the focus keyword is in the beginning. So, I mean, this question, like, how much work is there for you? Yeah, so the badges, they are built to kind of the better we get, or you guys get, the more work we get. So badge one is very easy things, and the idea here is that all these webinars, the blog posts we're doing, the surveys, the reward points, the webinars, I mean, they're all intended to do two things. We want to accelerate the learning curve for you guys. So, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that you cannot really read or learn in school. For example, how to write a good meta. It's trial and error, and we've been doing this for a very long time, so we know what works. And we also do it for some very, very talented clients. I mean, very, very good clients that make a living out of this. And so we have the opportunity to learn from them also. So there's our way of doing stuff, and if you don't do it that way, you won't pass in WordUp. And the other one is to assure quality. So, I mean, the problem here is that, I mean, if you have never written a landing page and done keyword research for it, and I mean, then it's not the easiest thing in the world. So we kind of want to teach you how to do it so you write a good text so it gets efficient in the app. So in the app, we have a certain workflow, and we also have different, based on the word count, difficulty levels. So each badge opens up the opportunity for you to do those tasks. And badge 4 is finally then how to build a good website. So, and it's a website that ranks and hopefully converts. Nobody wants a website just because just to have a website. They want to earn money on it, obviously. And then we have, so after the 4 badges, and you probably have to build a couple of websites. I mean, like if you take Minna here, you're definitely qualified, but you probably need to build like, I mean, Helena's built and Sanna, they built hundreds of websites. Of course, they know some stuff that you have not tried yet. So it takes a bit of a plasticity that you need to build and like some experience to get it good. If you get referred, and I mean, I'm getting some referrals, then we will put you into a boot camp training for 2-3 months. It's a full-time gig. We make some exceptions if we really want to work with the person, but for full-time, you earn minimum €1,000 a month. So it is definitely not well paid, but at least you, it's kind of it's structured around the Swedish loan that you get in school, and I think we're 200 euro more than that actually. And it's not a loan, you get this money, but you have to work for it and work pretty hard, obviously. Then we are adding a new role. So, I mean, the fun part with this is that the better we get, the more our clients are asking, yeah, but could you also do that? And what's your capacity in this language? And Sanna has done, she's like almost like a pilot there. She has trained, I mean, I think 7 people now in Finnish, and we're getting quite good capacity. So it means that we can start getting in more clients in that language. And she or anyone that becomes a country manager and trains these people, they will have a high guarantee of work. And then finally, there will be a new thing that we will try in one of the languages where if the people build a very good site, I mean, then we will also share a bit of the revenue on that site. So it becomes kind of a extra passive income that you get. So, and I mean, like the right now, WordUp is a platform where we mainly work with big clients and some of our own projects. However, the original idea was to make a self-service platform for websites and content orders. So when we have, I would say, 50 people, 20 to 50 people in each language, we will probably start opening it up so you can also work directly with clients. And when you work directly with clients, in maybe a plumber that builds a website, you obviously get a much bigger share of the thing, of the revenue. But right now, I mean, most people are not ready for that, so we're focusing on building the know-how first. Now I wouldn't talk a bit about how this new thing that we're doing will affect the task feed and quality. So what will happen when the badges go live is that you won't be able to open advanced task if you're not taking badge 3. It will just stop it. It doesn't matter what your level is in WordUp. The level in WordUp, it actually, I mean, it restricts or how many tasks you can do before they get approved. So if you're level 15, you can do 15 tasks until they get approved. So you can, and if 2 get approved, you can do 2 more, etc. So that's the thing behind the level thing. It also opens up, I mean, advanced tasks and editing. However, if you don't take the badge, you won't pass. So kind of how it looks now in WordUp. Here is, and there's going to be some small changes, not right away, but within a couple of weeks. So here is the task feed. First of all, we will put everything we have live. So there will be, I mean, literally in English, I think there will be 2,000 tasks or something. It's more that EWAs or we or the clients need to upload all the tasks. So if you're a batch 3, you can make 15 texts, and we have better and better overview of the approval speed. So the EWAs will approve it much faster as well. That of course comes with, like, the better the quality we have of the text, the less they have to spend time on editing it. It's also another reason why we have these badges. So here in the task feed, we have public tasks and invited tasks. I mean, most tasks will go from invited tasks now to public tasks. And if you have the badge, you will be able to do them. Then I would like to see if there's an example here of some stuff that we want to change. And one of the things we're changing is that there won't, so here's a text, which looks, I'm just reading through, I read it through a bit here. Yeah, I think this is good. It's written by, let's see who wrote it. So it's written by Thomas. Good job, Thomas. And I will, so we have something here called return. And return was our first workflow where I can give reasons why the text is not approved. So you get minus points for grammar and spelling. I think grammar and spelling, I think it's just rude, and it's as simple as, I mean, reading the text again before you submit. It's just, you know, being polite to the person you're working with. So right now, that sends it back. What we're going to change here is that we are going to do that mandatory on submit. So there's submit with message now that I guess all EWAs are using. I will show you how you can read that message. When you take the badges, you see if you've been approved or not from that. So if you, but we're going to take the submit with message away and make submit with rules and message. So they have to submit and give, I mean, reasons or no reasons at all. And you will get the minus points, for example, if you have grammar. And what we will do here, and I think this is important to really get, is that because I had the horrible experience in having someone that we are working with 8 years now, she sent me a text and it was full of language mistakes. I know the reasons, but I mean, it really doesn't fly to have a lot of mistakes in the text, and it's better to sleep a bit and or say that you can't do the job. But sending a text full of errors, that's like sending a burnt hamburger and saying like, yeah, but I mean, I didn't have time to cook it properly. I was on the phone and eat it anyway. I mean, nobody wants to do that. So this here will be part of the mandatory thing, and we will do what Google does. We will do manual review if we think there's too much work here. And then if there's manual review and we think that there's a lot of errors in it, then the badge will get revoked and you will have to take it again. So, and then if, I mean, obviously if the language is like Google Translate or horrible, I mean, then you will get blocked, but that's like normal. So I just want to say this, like, I mean, guys, don't do quality. I mean, if we don't do quality, it's not worth doing, and it's kind of a waste of time of the other person's time. And I know everybody tries to make money and you try to make as fast as possible, but I mean, sometimes it's better to take it a bit slow and at least don't waste time on all of this getting blocked or revoking the badge and stuff like that. I really think it's important. So this one here, I will say, I will submit. Some money. So that is one of the changes we will. And one way to access and see all the feedback you have, I know, I mean, it's a bit hidden and it's been intentionally because it didn't really work 100%, is that you go to the task feed and you, or to your balance, and then you click on this task history thing here. And if I click on that one, yeah, no, I didn't have anything there, obviously. So I will show you a bit on how it works. So here I have something from the 17th, and here I can click compare. I know that this text, I checked it a couple of minutes ago. This text here is, I didn't do any changes on it, but I can do advanced here. In advanced, I can see, I can compare it with the editor with the writer, for example. So you can select different roles here, and you see how, I mean, scores and some different things here. Pretty interesting. If I compare these, you will see that there is a 0.89% change. So there was like some prepositions that were taken away, and instead of and we put eller. Here you see all the changes. I mean, I think, and this is probably the best, the reason we built it is that, I mean, this is the best way to learn what you need to fix. I mean, it's like in school where the teacher is, you know, putting red marks and stuff like that. It's just the computer doing it for you. And I mean, Helene or Sanna or these people, if they edit the text for you, it's golden. You will learn a lot. So, I mean, I would check almost every text there. And I wanted to cover a bit of this fast track also. So, I mean, we are giving, so for each level, you get the reward points for free. And I see people that are very good writers that fail. The only reason why they fail is that they have not watched the webinars. So, I mean, if you don't write the meta right, you're going to fail. It doesn't matter if you're level 15 and the rest of the text is perfect. You've missed part of the exam. So, first of all, are you ready? If you're not ready, then, I mean, then it's better to take it a bit slow. In the end, you'll probably beat the rabbit because you don't have to redo everything. Rabbit or bunny, I don't know. And the other reason is why people fail is that they don't have enough experience. So here is an example of that. The text is, I mean, so unnecessary. This is a badge 3 thing. It costs 55 reward points. So 55 reward points, the more or less only way to earn it now in the app. I mean, you can arrange some links to one of our sites. We have a budget for that. It's not easy to do. Or you have to do 55 surveys. I mean, isn't it better to like watch a couple, I mean, 55 surveys, if they take, I mean, 1 minute each is 1 hour. If they take 10 minutes each, it's 10 hours. I mean, 10 hours of surveys, if you get them plus the lead time, isn't it better to watch the webinars? And that's why we actually did all of these reward points and stuff. It is so, we want to give it for free, but I mean, obviously this text, you get paid to do the texts, and we have a cost for them because these are texts for a site that we don't necessarily need this content. We're just putting up so you guys can pass the badges. And then there's all these people training, editing it, us spending the time on the webinars. I think it's unnecessary. And in this case here, I mean, the meta title has nothing to do. I mean, experience par excellence. I mean, I don't want to click that. So that's a totally useless meta title. And then there's, I mean, language mistakes in the text. I mean, so totally unnecessary in my opinion. And 55 reward points that will be close to impossible to get. So the choice that you have is that just say like, okay, I'll work on badge 2 a bit. I watch the webinars, I join, and that's my next point. You should join our amazing webinars. They're free. I mean, I think getting these SEO lessons and stuff like that is usually should be paid, or it's a book. I mean, I know that I've read like 20 books about it and I had to pay for every single one. And then I've paid my mistakes also. So here we have courses, and we are running them each week. And I mean, what do we have here now? We have this Elite WordUppers webinar, my weekly webinar. We have a Swedish writing webinar, English writing webinar, Japanese, Finnish writing webinar, and a growth hacking webinar. This will actually change to a badge 4 review webinar. Jörn will take the time to show, before you submit it, he will review the site for you, like a pre-review, so you don't fail. I think that's definitely worth a lot of time. And I mean, you will also learn how to build really good WordPress sites. So, I mean, you should join, I mean, I think you should join these ones here. I see it from the list that not everybody is. And besides, I mean, this is a typical agenda for one of the webinars. It's like, it covers getting started in WordUp, how the task feed and the rules and everything works. Obviously, that becomes less and less because they can watch a recording. Q&A and badges and getting started, a brief overview, they can watch others. Like, most importantly is that in the task feed, there will be tasks like Naked will have, I think, 500 to 1,000 texts up in the next week. And the best way to not get your badge revoked, to write it correctly from the beginning and really earn some money is obviously to join the webinar. and they will cover that in that webinar then. Or something else that there's a lot of tasks on. And then common mistakes. I mean, clear examples where people fail. I mean, I'm not mentioning the person who wrote this previous text, but I mean, if you would dig into it, you would see that there's, I mean, besides the language, I think there's also misunderstanding maybe on how to use keywords. It's that the meta titles are like, there's a lot of webinars that has to be mastered there, and maybe it's easier to just join a webinar like that. And I think the most important reason why you should join a live webinar is that you can ask the questions. I mean, you can ask anything you want to in my webinar, and if it's language related to the job or something, Linda, Claire, Sanna, Helene, they will answer all your questions to it. And that's absolutely the fastest way to do it, because they don't have time to, they take a lot of time. I know they're very nice people, but they don't have time to answer all the particular questions. They might just even flag it. So last week I didn't get any questions, I think. So this week I changed it to shy girls don't get to kiss the pretty boys, because we have more girls here. Last week it was shy boys don't get to kiss the pretty boys, girls. So let's see if we have something in the chat. I'm checking here. Where do I start from, Jan? No questions about, okay. Shoot any questions, guys, please. Okay. Then we're finishing on time. Okay, Anna Karlsson, will a website be in the task fit? Yeah, I mean the text will be. I mean, and they're probably medium to hard with some blog post. The websites get assigned by the country manager. So in Swedish, it will be Helene or Sanna. I mean, she has some projects that we get assigned. We might reorganize that a bit, but they will assign a website. Then you have 5 business days to build it. You can write all the text yourself if you want to, or you can take some of the text in the task feed. So the badge 4 task is, it's about 1,800 words of content. So it's like 45 pages that you need to write, which you get paid for. And then it's building the website. And building the website, I mean, the first time it's not that easy. So it will take a while. But then, of course, it gets faster and faster and faster. Ah, okay. Yeah. Okay. Can I right away take badge 3 before taking badge 1 and 2? No, you can't. You have to do them in order. I mean, badge 1 and 2, they're very easy for, I mean, if you can do badge 3, you can do those in less than, I mean, 1 hour, I guess. Anna Karlsson is asking, you have 5 days to whiteboard in 45 pages. Sorry, I don't understand that question. You have, okay, you have 5, so Anna is asking, like, you have 5 days to write 5 pages. So, and build the website. And it's work days, so it's more or less a week. But not for batch 4. I mean, batch 4, you agree with the person training. You might be less, actually, because it's more intense. But writing 1,800 words, I mean, that you can write some of them, some are probably distributed. But I mean, in the first batch, you probably want, for the 4th batch, you probably want to write all of them yourselves to accelerate your learning curve. So anyone else? Any questions? Then we're closing it up at exactly 30 minutes. Perfect. So thank you guys for joining, and I'll see you at the same time next week. Bye-bye.